everybody. The sun is out and it's so bright behind me, but I'm on the top of a hill. Oh, you can kind of see the bridge in Stillwater, my hometown here. And you can see the old lift bridge that they're turning into a bike and pedestrian only bridge. This historic town was a logging town and back in the 1800s. And actually behind me, there's actually still the pit of the foundation of Isaac Staples' home. His old sawmill is down below me, and there are yoga studios and chiropractor and other stuff in there now. It's a much different place, of course. This whole region, as I'm sure many of the regions in which you guys find yourselves living, this whole region was clear cut at one point in time, and there's actually old plates, like etched ink drawings in the public library here, that actually the house that I live in is on those plates, and it's pretty clear for this whole area. So I'm glad there are trees back here now. We got some beautiful, there's another big bur oak, just like the other, very similar to the other one I had in the video earlier this week. And to get on, I'm enamored with this place. So I hope you feel the same way about where you live, and can find ways to really appreciate where you're at in your journey and where you find yourself waking up every morning. It's really important. It brings a lot of beauty to life when we can find things that we're just really lit up about, and that are also free to appreciate and enjoy every day. This is just a park I'm at, and I'm on cloud 9 right now for sure. And I'm above the clouds because it's really foggy down there. So if you're interested in setting up a connection call, I'm running those for the next few weeks, getting a real deep understanding of you guys and your business and where you're at, so that the stuff that I'm creating here for the group is really congruent and relevant to you, and it's actually going to help you along. Because I'm not just doing these videos to hear myself talk. I really want them to be spurring you guys forward, because obviously we need more permaculture, ecological design, soil health, carbon sequestration, food production, native plants, pollinators, all that good stuff in the world. Now more so than ever, for sure. So I'm hoping that this stuff is helpful for you guys. Leave a comment below with the word eco if you're interested in setting up a call, and I can send you a link, or send me a PM and we can talk more. So today I'm really inspired by the energy of this place I'm at, because while Isaac Staples did have the responsibility, the blood of the trees on his hands, as it were, for clear cutting a lot of the area north of here and running the logs down the river. We'll actually be at the boom site later this week for another video where they landed the logs and brought them out for the sawmill. Not everybody in business is doing it in ecologically friendly ways, but that energy of the sheer amount of wealth that he accumulated, and he did provide jobs, and he really helped build this community into what it is today, the foundation for it. And that energy is really important to be around when we're thinking about how can I bring more wealth of various kinds into my life, especially financial wealth, because it does feed a lot of our ability to have freedom of choice in our life. And of course, we have the freedom of choice to not use money at all, but I invite you to look at how money can be a powerful tool for good in your life. So what happens when you start to book out your capacity for your consulting services? What does capacity look like for you? How many clients can you handle at one time? Have you ever been to a point where you said, okay, this is definitely as much as I can handle? Looking at what your whole mindset was around how much work it takes to fulfill what you feel is a valuable design or service for your client, how you were approaching your work at that time could mean either that, yes, you were at capacity, or that maybe you were just at capacity for that time and the way you were working on things. Were you leveraging your time well? Were you actually using your energy in wise ways? I found that in my own business, I've actually often had room for another couple clients, and wasn't necessarily approaching my work in a way that would allow me to have the energy and the efficiency, just the mindset in general to wrap my head around what does it look like to really just be in the flow with the work that I'm doing, rather than feeling like it's a drag or that I've got too much going on. What is the story we're telling ourselves that may be limiting our ability to serve more people? So booking out your capacity for consulting services, when you are at capacity, when you are making the amount of income that you had as a goal at one time, when you're realizing that as your current reality, you start to see ways that you can actually leverage your time and energy. Rather than trading hours for dollars, you start to see, if you're working with 3 or 4 clients at a time, or potentially more, but 3 or 4 seems to be a sweet spot for a lot of people. You start to see ways that you can leverage your time and energy. You start to see patterns and trends as far as, this is something that needs to be done every time I do a design, but I'm spending this extra time doing it when there are aspects of it that can be made into something that's well leveraged. Either it's a resource you're sending to your client, maybe it's a resource you're using yourself, and also how are you onboarding your clients? What is this process you're taking? How can you make it most efficient and most meaningful and informative for the people you're working with in a way that really is leveraging your time now to then save you time in the future and allow you to work with more people and serve them better? Because if you're doing these repetitive tasks all the time, is that really a valuable service, or is a more valuable service having that extra creative energy in your back pocket that you might have spent on that, creating that resource in the past, but that's already created, so you can focus on some more of the creative aspects of the actual design itself, coming up with some unique things that your client's is going to be blown away by, and that's really going to provide a deeper benefit and value with the service that you're providing. So based on leveraging your time and understanding the value that you provide, like I talked about in the first video this week, higher end packages can be created. And based on that deeper understanding, and the more people that you work with, you have more information about what that value truly is and how to actually convey that and communicate that effectively to clients so that they really understand, wow, this totally is worth spending $5,000 in this plan for my small yard, because it's really going to set me off on the trajectory that I want to be on, and grow my own food and medicine. This is a client that's just really understanding the true meaning of what it is to have a design done by you, have things figured out by an expert, so that they don't have to go through the trial and error, that they have a successful landscape to start with that's getting them right on the path to the lifestyle that they want. And when you book out your consulting service at capacity, the next level of business is available to you. And regardless of what that means, it might mean that you can hire somebody else. It might mean that you're able to look at, here's another service that I've always wanted to offer. Now you have some income to invest in creating other income streams in your business, and really leveraging your time and energy in the past, bringing in that income to then create extra services or products in your business that bring in even more value, and provide more useful, practical services for the people that you're working with that you weren't able to provide before when you were just doing your earlier version of the service that you offer. So these possibilities become a single step away. Ooh, that's bright. 360. All right, now that you guys are dizzy. These possibilities become a step away rather than another hill over. Because if you're not working at capacity, it's possible that you're also wondering where your next check is going to come from. And so you're not focusing on the real value that you're able to provide, or more of your personality and creativity that you can infuse into the design process. You're focused on where that next paycheck is going to come from. And that's not what people find valuable. If you're bringing that energy, and it happens to all of us, especially early on in business, until you get to the point where you really figure it out, you unlock the approach that's going to work for you to actually bring in the income goals consistently on demand that you want to bring in. And there's sales and marketing skills aspects to that, but also really taking a deep look at what's worked for you best in the past in terms of what got people most excited about what you do, and running with that and looking at how you can bring more of that, more of what works into what you do rather than worrying about what isn't working. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you want to set up a connection call so I can learn more about you and create some more resources tailored to you in the group here, I invite you to reach out via PM or leave a comment eco below. And I'd love to hear about how you're looking at your business in terms of, are you at capacity? What does capacity mean for you? Leave a comment below the number of clients per month. And also leave your income goal per month as well, just a sum number. And you can start to take a look, have that clarity. It's all about clarity, understanding if you want to bring in 3 or 4 clients a month and you want to make $10,000 a month, you've got a minimum of, about $3,000, $3,500 per job. And are you actually upholding that? Are you actually honoring those goals? Or do your actual practices on the ground in front of people mirror something more like earning $4,000 to $6,000 a month? And it becomes very obvious why we're not reaching our goals if we're not living in congruence and actually following through on our goals with ourselves and honoring our commitment to ourselves to see what that's like, to book out capacity, to meet our income goals and see what life is like there, because the next step from there is even greater, rather than the next step just being, where's my next client? Talk to you guys later. Hope you got something great out of this.